When you get a job in Canada, you will usually not be fired without reason, but there are several factors that can make you lose your job. The first is theft or fraud. This is most frowned upon in Canada. If you're involved in a fraudulent activity in your company or anywhere, not only can the company fire you but also report you to the police. And if you are found guilty, you will also not be eligible for severance pay. If you are found to be in a relationship with your boss or your juniors, you can get fired because many places do not accept workplace relationships. Now, there is a less chance of you losing your job for this particular reason, but it can happen depending on how seriously they take this issue. Next is insolence or insubordination. If you are behaving rudely or disobeying your boss, they can and will fire you. People don't really accept rude behavior here, and if you're challenging your boss's authority, they don't accept that either. But the good thing is, most times they will first give you a warning or a temporary suspension before letting you go for good. Harassment or violence. This is also frowned upon quite a lot in Canada, but they will usually judge the severity of the situation before deciding to fire you. And most companies have trainings and workshops in place to identify and deal with things like sexual harassment and office violence. We all have days where we can't make it to work or are late. Most companies here in Canada are quite flexible about that. But if you are late and absent persistently, that can lose you your job. I mean, it just shows how serious you are about that job. Losing a job because of downsizing is not your fault. It usually happens because the company is not doing well, or shutting some of its departments, or reducing its employees to save costs. If you are let go because of downsizing, you will usually get severance pay or at least a couple weeks' notice before you are let go. Now, severance pay is basically a salary that you're paid for a few months or few days in compensation for letting you go abruptly. Lastly, we have performance issues. Now, this is a gray area because most companies like to keep their employees. People will usually talk to you or help you out to improve your performance. But if you are a big time slacker or incompetent at work, you will lose your job because the company is just spending money on you without any results. Some companies might not give you an advance notice before letting you go because you might be bringing down the spirit of the whole team. But usually you will get severance pay to compensate for that. These are some of the reasons to get fired from a job. As you can see, if you turn up to your job daily, on time, and do your work, there will be absolutely no reason for your boss to fire you. Canadian people are usually very tolerant of all these issues. It is only when things go extreme do they take action. I hope you guys like this video. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe.